Hello, this is yours truly, Charles Prosper, your consistency success coach. And I'm going to tell you something right now that's going to sound very upsetting and even arrogant on my part. Without even knowing you, I can tell you that you will fail with a 95% probability against your favor. You're going to fail and you're going to be average if you do not have a burning desire, an all-consuming goal, a mission in life, something that you have decided that is more important than anything else for you to achieve in this life, something that makes you willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish, you're going to be average. That is just the way the statistics will fall. And the thing about what I just said, there's no way for me to determine that. I'm saying that by default, if you don't have a burning desire, an all-consuming goal, something that's more important to you than anything else in order to achieve, you will default into being average. And that will make you fall into the 95% of the population. So it is a choice as to whether or not you will be mediocre, you will be average. It depends upon how you approach your life and what you decide that you want to do with it. And at the center core of being in that rare and small percentage of excellence has to do with your committing to an all-important goal that is meant for you to realize your true talents and to give what you have been given by the fact that you were born into this world. You were given something to give back to the world. And that's something that all of us need to discover. And until and unless you do that, you're going to fall back and be mediocre. So this video, I hope, will be a wake-up call for you to decide not to be average, to decide that you will not be mediocre, for you to decide that you will be in that small percentage of those people who excel, who exceed, and who realize the purpose that they have been placed on this earth. Okay, here we go. Hello. In this installment, I'm going to talk about something that's going to sound very uncomfortable for most of you who hear it. But after I explain why I am making the declarations that I will, it will become clearer as to why I'm presenting you with this information. Most of you are going to fail. Most of you are average, because when it comes to mediocrity, majority rules, and the majority of any population is average. And it is only the small percent of a total population that will either be super successful or those who will be ultimate failures. And in the middle lies the bulk of humanity and of any given population. Let me see if I can explain this a little better to you, and also give you some good news at the very end. There's something in statistics, in the study of any type of human endeavor or human behavior, that is called the bell curve. And in the bell curve, what happens is that you take any large population of people and measure any type of human endeavor or behavior, and you will see the results forming what we call a bell-shaped curve. That is, the majority of people's behavior is averaged, and in the middle, where the peak is, and at each extreme, at the left extreme of the bell, are going to be the people who have very low aptitude, energy, or initiative, and then at the right side of the bell-shaped curve, you're going to find people who are successful, bright, energetic, and the people who achieve. What happens is that all human endeavor since the beginning of time has formed the bell-shaped curve. That means that the achievers, the people who really succeed, who make it to the top, are always in the minority. I mean, this is just a fact. Don't get upset with me. This is the way it is. This is the way it always has been. And this, I say, will be the way it will always be. Let me give some practical examples so that you can understand this a little bit better and try to assimilate it. Take, 100 people who enroll in a gym on January the 1st of a new year, saying that they're going to start the gym, lose weight, and achieve this, and do this, and have this result. Everybody starts out the same. However, fast forward 6 months to a year of those 100 people, would you be willing to bet everything that you own that all 100 people have remained consistent? Seriously, realistically, would you really, in your own common sense of observing human behavior, be willing to bet that of that 100 who enrolled in the gym, 100% have stayed consistent and have achieved their goals? You know that that is not the case. What is usually the case is that a small percentage of that 100 people who enrolled in the gym will be consistent. What percentage it is? I would say usually 5%. At the very optimistic 10%, who are truly consistent, on task, never missing, and moving toward their goals. Let's take another example if that's not convincing enough for you. Let's say we take 1,000 people that go to one of these motivational seminars, like the Tony Robbins type, and 1,000 people go, and everybody starts out the same, with the same enthusiasm. And the idea is that they will leave out of there and be consistent and achieve their goals. Okay, but what usually happens? After the seminar is over, people lose the enthusiasm. They gravitate back to their normal lifestyle, and things go back to what we call, quote unquote, normal. What percentage do you think of the people who would go to that seminar would walk out of there and remain consistent, stay consistent, on task, and achieve their goals? Yeah, you're right. A small percentage. All of those people who read The Secret, remember how popular The Secret was? It had the secret, the answer to manifestation and achieving all your goals. And millions of people read this book, and they were all excited. And they were going to change their lives and manifest this and manifest that because they read this book, The Secret. Now, what? How many years later? 20 years later? I forget how long ago the book was written, 15, 20 years later. How many of those people are following consistently the principles that they learned in that book and were so excited about? Very small percentage at this point. If it's 2 or 3, 4, 5%, I think it would be very optimistic. So when you look at human achievement, any type of achievement, let's say athletic performance, the athletes who excel in any sport are the minority. They are not the majority. And why is that? It's because human nature conforms to what statistics has shown to be the bell-shaped curve. The majority of people will fall in the middle, and on the two extremes, on the left will be the total failures, and on the right side will be the total successes. On either extreme, it's a small percentage. And the idea is that the bulk of human endeavor and behavior falls in what we call average, the average person. Now, who determines whether or not you will be average or not? Well, the answer is obvious. You do. So even though the majority of people will conform and be average, because this is the way it's always been, and only the exceptional people will not be average, because you can't even have above average if average didn't exist. So the whole thing that I'm trying to explain here is that you cannot look around and imitate the people around you, because if 5% of the people are successful, you have somewhat of a 95% probability that you're going to be around someone who doesn't have the type of mindset that you need. So if the probability is very high against you being surrounded by the right type of people, you have to be the type of person that you want to follow within yourself. So as it says in the Bible, choose you this day who you shall serve. So no one can determine that you have to be in this middle group of average people where the majority of people are. You decide this. So what I want to say is this, is that you have to choose, you have to decide that you will be exceptional, that you will not be part of the crowd, because the crowd is the majority. And if you follow the crowd, you will be in the midst of mediocrity. So the message here is simple, is that your power to choose will determine if you will be part of that small percent of people who are super successful. And yes, it is the road less traveled by that Robert Frost talked about in his poem. He said, two roads converged together. I'm trying to paraphrase this. And I looked down both, and I chose the path that was less traveled, and that made all the difference. Which the poem means is that he chose the path that most people don't want to travel, the path of consistency, persistence, resilience, not giving up, knowing what you want. Very few people tried this path. And this was the path that he chose in the poem, and it made all the difference. The path that was very well trodden is the path where everybody else goes. The easy path, the comfort zone, not disciplining themselves. This is the path that most people will take. And this is the point of my presentation here, is that in the world, you will notice that in terms of mediocrity, majority rules. Most people are mediocre and average. This is just the way it is. It's always been this way, and it will always be this way. This is the way that the statistics of human behavior naturally gravitates and falls. I didn't invent it. I walked into a world where this exists. When I leave, it'll be like this and continue to be like this from now until the end of time. But I just want to emphasize to you that you have to choose. You have to take hold of the power, your superpower, which is that to choose who you wish to be. So with this, I leave you, even though that the majority of people will not be with you in your quest for excellence. That is not important nor necessary. The idea is that you must choose the path less trodden, and that will make all of the difference. Well, I hope you got the message. I hope you got the message that it's all about choice. It's all about choosing to be excellent rather than defaulting into mediocrity. It's all in your hands. And the key, which at this point I hope you understand, is in having decided and committed upon a mission, upon a goal, upon something that is more important for you to achieve than anything else. Something that expresses your talents, your abilities, and is the reason why you were placed on this earth. Something that you have to find and discover yourself and have to pursue, because by default, 95% of the whole world population does not pursue their passion with the intensity of someone who wants to be in that rare percentage of excellence. Now, before I go, I'd like to invite you to my community, where you will have access to live coaching calls that will help you to stay focused in achieving your particular goal through the Prosper, Success, Consistency membership site. And also, you will have access to accountability partners who will be assigned to you as members, and you will also be assigned to another member to be their accountability partner to help each other to stay focused and move forward and achieve whatever goal that has been selected. So, without delay, I would like you to go right now to www.consistencysuccesscoach.com, and you will be glad you did. And as well, I would like to reemphasize that I consistently put out daily content on the subject of consistency. And so that you don't miss out on any of the jewels that I have to offer you, I would suggest that you like and subscribe and make yourself privy to some of the jewels of consistency that I feel that I have to offer for you. So, as I love to say, until the next time, stay consistent and be successful.